Harry Truman's house. Who cares?
You live like right in a regular neighborhood, remember?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I stopped over here, man. It's Harry Truman. Look, he's got boots in
Yeah,
the
those
back
guys
door.
are back there. What the hell is he doing? They're following us in the car.
Oh my God, that was.
Did they stay with you? Did you stay?
Yeah.
He was taking us to the motel.
No, they were staying at a hotel or whatever.
Well, they stayed with us in Kansas.
They
We
eat
stayed
with
us. I did.
That's right.
He come to the hotel, man, with a box of steaks. You know,
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You guys had an efficiency or something because you were able to cook or something.
Uncle Phil made sure we did that. He made sure we either had a hot plate or someplace to
Somebody
cook.
always cook.
Yeah.
Always
Those
cooked.
guys, Bill or Eddie.
Always, yeah. Eddie, I was the cleanup guy. I was the chook of the band.
And how many years apart were you and Uncle Phil?
15 exactly.
That's it.
Almost exactly. His birthday was on the 20th of May. Mine was on the 18th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you're up in Akron area on the 21st of May, we're going to celebrate he would have been 90 this year.
Oh, gosh.
And I'll be 75.
And he's, he died young.
74.
Oh, I will. Let me finish this.
I outlived him.
74.
I outlived him.
So young.
Yeah, I know. Well, he, of course, drank a lot, smoked a lot, you know.
That's so
You know, he said
But he lived more than that.
1977. That had to be 75 or 76 when we went to that party.
Yeah, probably not.
He lived more in those 74 years than most guys do in 174 years.
Right.
Funny man. Yeah, we worked with some heavyweights.
What about Red Fox, Mickey?
Yes,
Red Fox was after
that's a good
Sheila.
story.
That's.
Did you know that?
What's that?
Red Fox was in love with Sheila. I wonder if, I don't know, I wasn't there then.
Must have been the red hair, right?
Must have been the red hair, Red Fox, yeah. But we worked with Cosby, Georgie Jessel.
Ooh, did he rape women?
Not then.
Did he drag him and
He
rape
was
them?
begging Mike Douglas for work.
Oh,
You know, he
really?
says, "Hey man, anytime you got an opening, I'd come anywhere you are." And then, you know, that's when the Mike Douglas show was big.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Who did you sit in with, Mick? Tell me some of the guys you played with besides the.
Fats Domino.
The
I
couch.
played with Fats Domino.
What was that like? Was he a jerk or was he a good guy?
No, he was. Here it was. After
Soul
we
man.
played. He was one of my early idols, Fats Domino.
Mine too, in Johnny Johnson's basement.
Yeah, well, you remember that? Okay, Fats Domino. Can you imagine that? I got to on Virginia Avenue, and I got to play with the guy. How would
In Akron?
No, Vegas at the
I
Flamingo,
was like, what?
and we're down at the Flamingo, and
They're dancing in the music.
there was a group called the Spiral Staircase. Da 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 da. That's not the right notes, but there's a lot of notes. The Spiral Staircase.
Wine. I don't know. That's
We
okay.
don't know.
Anyhow, no, wait, thank you. Anyhow, we go up to the lounge afterwards. I was up, I wanted to go get a drink. So I sat next to Fats Domino. Fats Domino, at that time, the story was, I can't verify it, but he was a gambler.
Here.
And he had lost so much money that he had to work the Flamingo at,
Free.
for 2 years.
man.
Oh
For
boy.
2 years.
Wow.
That's how much gambling, and that's how much gambling he did. He lost that much money, so he had to. I mean, he couldn't pay. He had to pay the band, but Fats Domino's money
Went straight to
went right back to the hotel because
Wow.
he lost 2 years worth of wages. But he had an $80,000 ribbon coat on, and it was 95 degrees outside, and he had diamonds all over his hands. You know, diamonds everywhere. I said, Fats. You know, I'm drinking a gin and tonic, or no, I was drinking scotch, double. Aren't you hot with that coat? He said, hey man, when you pay this much money for this coat, you gonna wear it whether it's 90 degrees or 90 below zero.
Oh.
You know, that's that's where Chubby Checker.
Oh, I got to sit
You
in
know,
with,
that's where Chubby Checker got his name from Fats Domino.
really?
That was his idol, was Fats Domino. I heard him doing an interview like last year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he says, I got, oh man, I love that guy. So
Oh,
that's why
Fats.
it's Chubby Checker, Fats Domino. So he did a game and the Fats and the Chubby.
What a good guy. I got to sit in with Count Basie.
I know, yeah.
You remember that? You don't remember. You remember? Do you remember that?
Remember what?
Count Basie, of course I remember
I
Count.
got to
Yeah,
sit in with Count Basie.
I got some great Count
I just
Basie.
said, tell them about the cow.
Yep, I got to sit in with Count Basie. And,
What was that like?
Oh,
I mean,
didn't-
but he was a perfectionist, though.
I didn't
No.
sleep. Well, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here was the problem. This had to be 66, 67.
Why don't?
This was in Fort Lauderdale. It was at Jimmy Fazio's. Yes, Jimmy Fazio's, right on 101. No, it was
Next
right
to
on
my car,
Federal
you know,
One.
it's
Yes.
The Federal
Next to
one?
my guy.
Federal
Next to the
Highway.
Mike.
What, in
My guy.
Los
Yeah,
Angeles?
we went there
In
not
Ware
long ago.
Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Next to the
What?
Mike High.
Mhm.
Remember the?
Still there. It's still there.
Federal Highway, yeah.
Yeah.
Federal Highway. Okay.
It's gone now.
So, yeah.
No, it's
So
not.
High's there.
My guy's there, but
Fazio's is not.
You took us there. Remember? You took us there. So anyhow, we're there playing this gig. That's when Dad came down, and that wasn't good. But
That was something
he,
else.
and the place was known because the Yankees, the New York Yankees, used to have
Mickey
a
Mantle and
yeah.
those guys.
Well, we had friends from the guy's name was
Kennedy's.
Mommy,
oh
I
God, damn it,
Mommy,
what's his
the
name?
clip.
Well,
He
just
pitched-
tell them about playing with Jeff.
Well, anyhow,
Miss Farron posted it.
Was that in Fort Lauderdale, Fazio's you played?
yes.
How can
And-
And I happened to be there that night, which was really.
So anyhow, the word was that the Basie band was coming. They're going to play
No points, Harper.
in the joint.
Yep,
in his
no
place.
points. Look.
The problem was
I know,
the majority of the guys, the lead players, including the drummer, and I think one or two of the brass, it might have been even a reed player, were stuck in Chicago because there was a major snowstorm. They couldn't get out of the airport. So half the Basie band was there. So what they did is they went to Miami and they got Sammy Spear from the Jackie Gleason show.
Oh man.
They got those guys, replacements, to come up to play for Basie. You know, they were replacing. They were replacements. Well, the drummer, if you remember the Jackie Gleason show, the June Taylor dancers, that's all they did. Well, Basie doesn't play that. Basie swings. He plays good stuff.
Yeah.
And so when they came up, the drummer basically wasn't very good.
No, he wasn't
Not
accustomed
at
to
all.
playing that beat.
Well, we're in the other side of this lounge playing our show. And we're good because we had everything was down, you know, rehearsed band. It's a Las Vegas show band, which we were very good. And so I went to Uncle Phil. I says, "Hey man, that drummer sucks. He's not doing well at all. You think you could ask Mr. Fazio if I could sit in?" He says, "Well, you think you could play with that band?" I said, "Hell yes." I had more confidence than you can imagine. He says, "I'll ask him." So I took a break. And Jimmy says, yeah. He goes up to Basie, you know, "Hey, Bill, I got this kid over here wants to sit in." And I don't know what he said, but
Couldn't be any worse.
that's exactly that's
Couldn't
exactly.
be any worse.
Can't be any worse than what I got now. So, okay, that's fine. And so he said, "Yeah, hell yes." I said, "Oh, now I had to pee. I couldn't poop." Everything started to back up, and I thought,
What did I do?
always beware of what you wish for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing I did, he gave me the book, you know, the charts. I says, I don't need those charts. Okay. He took them and put them in the kitchen. He says, "Well, what do you want to play?" And I named a bunch of tunes. "Oh, okay. Harry Sweets Edison, was a trumpet player.
Wow.
Freddie Green, remember
Yeah,
Freddie
of
Green?
course.
Guitar. He was a guitar.
Wow.
And a trumpet player or trombone player I never knew. Well, the first tune we started playing, Basie was right in front of me. He had,
And the drums were up high.
Yeah, the drums
like in
way up
in
high.
the middle of all.
Yeah.
and he was right there, looking right at me. It was like this. Tune starts playing, and I said, "Okay, this is Basie." Dun, 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 playing, and Sweet Edison's playing, and the trombone player says, "Yeah, man, yeah, that's it." So I played a set with Count Basie, and it turned out pretty good. And so Jimmy Fazio afterwards comes, and Basie's sitting in a booth by himself. He comes over with a bottle of booze. Don't know what it was. Might have been Jack or something. He gives it to Basie and he says, "Thank you, thank you very much." He goes, "Thank you." And that was my. And then I went home that night. Could not sleep.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Did he say anything to you, Count Basie?
Oh, well, shook hands.
Afterwards,
You know,
yeah.
shook hands, but he didn't speak too much. He didn't say too much.
No.
But the band, well, here's the kicker. This was in January. Well, that same February, next month, we finish our gig in Fort Lauderdale, and we go to Toledo, or was it Dayton? It was either Dayton or Toledo. But the Basie band was there.
Oh, you're kidding.
No
And
way.
the regular guys showed up, you know, the trumpet player and the drummer.
Yeah.
And Jesus criminy, what a band. And I thought, oh, I got to sit in with this band.
Yeah, wow.
And they were screaming. I mean, that band was just, and then of course the guy said, "Oh yeah, you were the kid." I said, no, I wasn't. It was somebody else. It was,
Dude.
you know, I didn't want to, oh my God, that band, oh. But anyhow, that was my experience with Count Basie.
That's pretty awesome.
It was good. Good for
Pretty
me.
incredible.
Pretty nice.
Well,
Yeah.
Sinatra came up on stage with you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sinatra and Dean Martin.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We were the opening act for the,
You done or you more?
And no pictures.
no pictures, no.
Well, wasn't there?
Oh, I got headlines in the Review Journal.
Picture in the paper.
Oh,
I know, but I'm just saying.
no pictures.
Today you have.
If you would have had the camera.
Oh,
you
my
could have
God.
found
Oh yeah. Well,
So how did that happen?
we were playing at the Riviera Hotel. We were the opening act for all the acts that came in. Shaky Green, Ray Anthony, Sarah Vaughan.
Wow.
We were the opening. I mean, Peggy Lee. That's right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I
So-
saw Sarah Vaughan in acting.
Oh yeah. And so.
I would love.
She was.
What happened
That
was
goes
we were with Ray Anthony. Now, if you remember back in the day, I think it was sometime in the '60s, mid '60s. Batman with Adam West and Robin.
TV,
Yeah, TV. Well, there was they had what was called the bookends. The girls who were on the
Yeah.
Batman show. The two on this end, two on this end. They were really hot ladies at that time. They were stars of the Batman show. Pow, bam, you know, all that. It was my favorite show. Well, Ray Anthony hired him. And the show was billed as Ray Anthony and the Bookends. You remember that?
That's
Ray
funny.
Anthony and the Bookends, yeah. Now, Ray Anthony's from Cleveland. He's a trumpet player. Used to use black shoe polish for his hair because it was thinning, but everybody thought he had a full head of hair. I should have thought of that. But anyhow, he's playing, and like I say, we were the opening act. Well, we are just finishing the last 15 minutes of our set before he comes on. And there's this big lounge at the Flamingo Hotel. No, I'm sorry, the Riviera Hotel. And there were columns, and you could see through these big columns. There was, you know, curtains if you wanted to close them. And you could see the whole casino. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. There's maybe 100 people in the place, you know, we're playing, they laugh. All of a sudden the curtains start closing. And, you know, I'm playing, we're watching. tables started getting shuffled and chairs. What the hell's going on? Nobody knew what was going on. They have this, like that coffee table there, times 10. Huge, long tables and chairs every, 3 feet, whatever. And every fourth chair was a bottle of Jack Daniels with the appropriate glasses and so forth. This is going on our last 15 minutes. So we're done playing, and they were like, you're done now. You're in the middle of a tune, you're done. Stop it, get off. We get off the stage, lights go off. They clear the stage for Ray Anthony. And I don't know, nobody knew what was going on. So we get off the stage, Uncle Phil goes down, he sits by the bar, because we always used to like to listen to the bands, and I was in the back. I was like in the corner. All of a sudden, they start the show, and the curtains opened up, and all these people started coming in. Must have been 500. I mean, the place is packed. I says, Ray Anthony this good? He can't be. There's no way. Well, then here comes the people. Here comes Jack Carter, the comedian at that time. The McGuire sisters came in. You remember the guy played Riot Earp. What was his name? He comes in. Vito Musso, the tenor player, comes in, and here comes Frank Sinatra. Walks through the door. Right behind him was Dean Martin. They come in, and they sit down right in front of the bandstand. I'm in the back of the corner. I'm looking, what the? Is that Frank and so forth? And Uncle Phil's sitting right by the bar. And so, who knows what's happening? He starts a show. Ray Anthony starts a show. He's got a pretty good show. The book ends, and they were hot. They were singing, and they're doing everything like that. About 20 minutes into the show, it says, ladies and gentlemen, you all know they're here. Let's stop fooling around. How about it? You ready? Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. Oh, big ovation. Things were opening up. All the whole casino is screaming. They come up on the bandstand. And with Ray Anthony, trumpet player from Cleveland. And he's very proud of Ohio. So he says, yeah, they start then they started their Rat Pack shtick, with the drinks and all that. And Dean Martin says, hey, where's that guy that was up here before? What the hell's his name? Freddie Green? No, what was the singer at that time? He spots him and says, hey, come on up here, Uncle Phil. So here comes. He says, yeah, come on, we're going to sing Way Marie, we're going to do some other Italian song. So here comes Uncle Phil on the bandstand. There he is in the middle. It's like here he is. Here's Frank Sinatra, and here's Dean Martin, and here's Ray Anthony. And they started singing Way Marie, and they got Uncle Phil like this. One's got, he's got, and they're singing Way Marie. They're singing a couple of Italian tunes, just having fun. Could be at the Italian Center. Who knew? Nobody knew. And there they were singing. And the next day in the Review Journal, big headlines: Phil Palumbo and Pals, and they went a whole article on that night's activities.
Wow.
And that was that was my and I was in the back. I had tears in my eyes. I said, what am I looking at here?
Wow.
And no camera, no nothing. Just it's all here.
Now it's here.
Yeah, and I mean it was amazing. I mean, it was like a swarm. They were like, well, that was the same way when Elvis Presley came in. He came in to see us. The lights went dark, after a tune. Presley comes up to the band and says, hey, Phil, said, I'm sorry, man, I gotta leave. I got things to do. So shook his hand and split.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Cassius Clay came in, what a Richard he was.
That's
Oh,
back in his
he
punk
was,
days.
he was just a jackass. But, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, and seeing Vegas is strange because there's so many things that you see. I'm on the traffic light. There's a cigar. I saw a cigar. Must have been this long. I looked over. It was Danny Thomas. I said, hey, okay.
That's like
I was
the
gonna go home and
cab-
brush my
cab
teeth.
driver goes, oh, you know, who was in here before you? Who was the guy with the scar that was married to Milano?
Oh, Seal.
Seal, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Seal just got out of the cab. Out of his cab.
Where was this, in Vegas?
Vegas.
Yeah, I got many stories of Vegas. And then Barbara Streisand.
Oh boy.
Good job, that one.
Yeah.
She was the opening act for Liberace.
She was?
This was before she was the
Famous,
great-
yeah.
This was actually in '64. We just got there.
Wow.
And
Did you ever meet Liberace?
oh sure. He was a little guy too. I'm surprised. He had a 75-piece orchestra. The piano had a pure. You could see through it. The you know when you lift up the thing.
Yeah.
Plexiglass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a candelabra, looked like a menorah, on top of the piano.
Wow.
I remember that.
Oh my God! And he would walk
I
in.
heard he had a great show.
Oh, it was fabulous. His show. I went back there one day.
I can
Uncle
imagine.
Phil went back there. I mean, we were
Fabulous.
sitting. We actually wanted to see Barbara Streisand because I used to go to all the rehearsals. I used to bring Angela. I brought Angela to the Dean Martin rehearsal, and the trumpets were too loud. She could, it hurt her ears. So I had her one ear next to my chest, and I had my hand on the other ear because it was loud. But I went to all the Dean Martin rehearsals. Saw him on the golf course, hitting balls. But the Liberace show was absolutely
Yeah, I heard
over
that.
the
saw
top
that.
great. Now we'd sit in the back and watch Barbara Streisand because she had the song "Happy Days Are Here Again." She sang it as a ballad. It was spellbinding. I mean, she had this tablecloth on,
I don't know.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she had just a hole in the tablecloth, and it was like there's nothing there but feet. That's all I heard was the head and feet.
Dirty feet.
And she used to
Half-
drag.
half
She used to
hand.
drag the mic, and she had the mic like this, and she dragged the stand off the stage. Oh my God! It was standing ovation time.
Was it a white mic?
Huh?
Was it white?
Oh yes, it was.
She won't use anything but a white mic.
Oh yeah. Well,
Really?
Oh.
white mic? Oh, I don't know about the mic, but the dress was white. But the strings started. No, happy days are here.
Yeah, what a voice.
And the strings were just in the
Is that
back.
when she was a young kid?
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
64, whatever she was. She
Yeah.
could have been, might have been a teenager.
Yeah. 'cause
She was
she's
married
my
to-
age.
She was married to Gould, some guy named Gould.
Elliot.
Elliot Gould, Elliot on Gould. Yeah, Elliot on
He was a
Gould.
pretty famous actor.
Yeah.
He was a jackass. I was teaching her how to play blackjack. But she had the happy days. Oh, and then I'm standing there and I get bumped. Like, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. He was Andy Williams.
Oh my God.
And he had, who he had with him? Claudette Longier.
Oh, yeah, I remember. her. You guys
She's
know
the one that
her.
shot Spider Savage in the ass.
Yeah, her boyfriend? Was it
Yeah.
her boyfriend?
But she was a
But anyhow. I'm going to work one night. Oh no, I beg your pardon. I was leaving work one night, and we had to go out through the service entrance. Garbage cans and everybody parked their car there. And I saw Streisand up against the. She had her musical conductor there.
Now you know why she wore the sheets.
Tablecloth?
There's an access
Oh
issue.
my gosh.
But I tell you what, I was at every single one of her shows. As soon as, because we had to try to, what they did back then was they had the lounge acts. The big show was at 8 and 12. So we'd come on after after the first show. So we got to see the first show. Then we'd go on at 9. Then the lounge show started at 10. Then we'd come on at 11, and the big show come on at 12. And then we'd, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shaky Green.
He was a great.
Oh,
He was funny.
You
I
ever
let
see
him-
any of his stuff back?
No.
See them?
He was funny.
he was excellent.
Well,
He,
he
got,
was big time.
he divorced this girl. He was like an Indian girl. She was just freaking
Hey, and we're
stunning.
supposed to see the
He
rest
said,
of
Abby, a son of a bitch. He says, you know,
Yeah.
we get a divorce, you gotta split up property. Well, she got the house, I end up with the driveway.
I
Hilarious.
think his mother was, I don't know if he was from Miami, but I think his mother was from Miami.
He got into a drunken rage one night. And this was funny.
You gotta finish
You'd see it on the History
scalpel
Channel.
thing. I forgot about
He,
Yes.
he gets stone drunk,
Oh.
goes into the lounge on his break, into the lounge. He starts gambling, drunker than a pig. He takes a couple of blackjack tables and turns them over, goes to a crap table, and turns them over. He was a moose. He was a very strong man.
Yeah.
And they barred him. They fired him. You know who the headliner was at the Riviera? Phil Palumbo.
Oh, he became the head.
Yeah. You go down the Riviera and you see the marquee.
Okay, I'm coming.
Phil Palumbo and pals.
And you
Wow.
guys don't have a picture of that either?
It's on. I mean, it's recorded because of the incident he created. Then the next day it showed Marty Heim Trio and Phil Palumbo. Yeah, and that's when they hired Sarah
They give
Vaughan.
you guys more money then?
Yeah, right. Milt Bronson, who was the entertainment director out there, he says he put in a contract. He says, Phil Palumbo. He said, Phil. He says the only way I'm going to hire you back. You want to do 16 weeks next year, or you want to do 20 weeks? How about 26 weeks next year? That'd be great. Oh, good. Here's a caveat. You have to have every single person, because the bartenders loved us, the pit bosses loved
Yes.
us, and he made sure, Bill Bronson did, the entertainment director, he made sure that all 5 guys and girl was on that band. If anybody changed, because bands in Vegas, it would be good, they'd sign these contracts, then guys would take other gigs, they'd go here, they'd go there. Then the time they came back, the band sucked. And so he says, you're not gonna do this. You want this 26 weeks? You can have it. At this price, which was more money than I ever made. If you don't do it, if you change personnel on that bandstand, you don't have a gig. You're done. And so that's how we did it, unless somebody dies. Different story. Act of God, you got no problem. So that's how we operated. Nancy Ray, greatest singer in the world. And who was the comedian? Very famous comedian, Jewish fella. He made when he gave the finger on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh, he was the famous.
Yeah, good, funny. I mean, this guy had.
No, but he was like the original blue comedian. He was
Oh.
the over the top. What was his name?
No, that's Lenny Bruce. Not
Lenny Bruce. No,
Lenny
not Lenny Bruce.
You remember the guy?
Did you ever see Lenny Bruce?
Oh no, never seen him.
No.
Not live. He was dead by the time we.
Oh.
Nancy Ray, remember Nancy Ray, the singer, got out of Cleveland? Oh, she was. Bonnie Micah was good, but Bonnie Micah was on the same part as Nancy Ray. And this comedian came in and heard her with the band, and that was it. He was there every single night.
Wow.
Oh, big star. You know, we thought, ooh, he likes to
Alan
dance.
King?
No. He wasn't. He was big, but his famous line was not line, but his famous. What made him really? I mean, the guys, because he gave the finger on it was either Ed Sullivan Show or one national TV show. Oh my God, that was like exploded. It was all over.
Well, yeah.
You know, now they do that as a matter of fact, but that back then, man, that was like groundbreaking. I can't remember who it was, but he He was there every single night. Trying to, and in fact, he was dating her for a while. So I don't know what happened. I got a million of them.
I love it. How many shows do you think you played over the years?
How many shows? Well, I wouldn't even know how to guess.
How about in Vegas? How many shows you played in Vegas?
Well, we were there from, let's see, 63, we did 5 nights a week, 3 shows a night, 15 shows, 30, 60,
Did you put the cover on?
No.
5,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we did shows opposite the characters, Prima, Don Rickles.
Was Prima a dick or was he a good guy?
He was a loner,
Yeah.
but he on stage,
He's magical, right?
I used to go.
Prima.
Oh, man.
I remember Belle Barth. Remember Belle Barth? She was a comedian, about this big, weighed about 220. She used to play the piano and tell jokes. She'd sit on 3 LA phone books because she couldn't, piano, she was short, dirty, she's very risque. Anybody out there, she's playing the piano, anybody out there want to look up a phone number in LA? You're gonna have to look up my ass. And she was right next to the Thunderbird next door. We used to go listen to Louis Belson was the band then. Buddy Rich was up the street with Harry James. I used to go there every night. Finally, Pete Nardella and I had dinner with Buddy. And Red Kelly, the bass player, on Harry's band, Harry James.
You guys were on Johnny Carson, weren't you?
No.
Johnny Carson, Jack Barr, one of them.
Donald O'Connor and Mike Douglas, and the Donald O'Connor show in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That's very cool.
I got to meet some of my all-time heroes. I mean, musical heroes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was for me. It was. But you know, the funny thing is, when you get into that area, you're in a studio. Say you're in like an NBC studio. And
They said they want to finish their Maniscalco.
okay, we'll be right over. When you're the comedian, that what you saw. Anyhow, you're in the studio. You're with all these named musicians. You got albums at home with their names on it. Bass player Ray Brown, you know, and there you are in the studios with them. These are the guys you grew up with. You go pay $10 for an album or whatever it was, and there's the guy. You're like, oh yeah, man, listen to this cat. You know, you're in Akron, Ohio. All of a sudden, you're in Los Angeles, California, at an NBC studio with Donald O'Connor on his nationally broadcast show. You're playing drums with these guys.
How the fuck did this happen?
What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's freaking mind blowing.
It's like me with meeting Colonel Sanders.
Exactly,
and Ray Brown.
exactly right.
Did you ever meet Joe Walsh here?
No, I never met Joe
You
Walsh.
guys were probably gone when he was still here.
Joe, see, here's the thing about guys like Joe Walsh. They traveled extensively. I mean, we were in town there was about a 10-year period when we traveled. We were in town maybe, we did 26 weeks in Vegas. We did another 10 in Reno, another 10 in Tahoe. So, you know, you're talking 40, we were back in Akron maybe 2 months, a month, you know, and then we'd be back on the road again. So I never got a chance to meet them. Joe Walsh, Michael Stanley, all those, Chrissy Hine, never got to meet her. I didn't meet her, but we were next to each other at her restaurant in Akron.
So here's my last question. So both of you guys got to meet and do the things that you absolutely wanted to do in life. I mean, the thing that you wanted to do, principally, play music with some of the greatest people in the world and play some of the most interesting music in the world. You got to do?
Sex with a net-footed cello, I never did.
Well, that's staying.
You probably don't even know who a net-footed cello is.
I do. Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was in love with her.
So how do you get to do what you want to do in life?
They
the
tried to
secret?
call her.
Whatever the category is, in my opinion, like for example, when I started playing drums in high school, I didn't actually start really playing gigs, jobs with other musicians, with an audience, until I was like 15.
Yeah.
But at that time, I'm listening to everything that was inspiring to me, like all the music.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, and I'm upstairs playing, and I'm, you know, and I'm thinking, yeah, man, I can do that, and I'm doing it, and it sounded pretty good. Well, you develop dreams, and my dream at that time, because at Garfield High School in Akron, most of the people, the guys that were ahead of me in class, you know, 2 years
Yeah.
ahead of me, 1 year, their dream was the second they graduated,
Worked at the tire.
they're on, well, no. Yeah, that's true. Tire companies. But there was another group of guys that says, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Where you going? I'm going to LA. You're going to California?
Yeah.
Come on. Well, I said to myself, well, you're going to California. I'm going to try to find a way to get out of California. Didn't know how. Then these songs started coming up. All these rock and roll songs of the 60s, 50s and 60s. And here comes Richie Valens. Oh, Donna, oh, Donna. Then he, Alabama, da-da-da-da-dee. Oh, that's it. I'm on my way. I'm going to pack my, because Frank Padula, one of my closest and dearest friends, was already in LA. And he was writing back and forth, and man, this is right after high school. I says, I am on my way. Now, Uncle Phil, of course, at the time, my music was just starting to get to the point where I was actually getting pretty good, where he thought, I might be able to hire this kid and put the band together and actually work, make money. But I was going to go to California, and I was going to be Richie Valens' drummer. Richie Valens didn't know that.
Yeah.
But